Today, in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malladu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And as you all are aware, the COVID is coming back with full bang. And to discuss about the lockdown, because the lockdown is it started being imposed in many of the cities, many of the states. So we have a topic today, and that is role of youth in lockdown. But before I will come to the topic, I would like to inform you that today world is observing the International Day of Sport for Development. The International Day of Sport for Development of Peace on 6th April presents an opportunity to recognize the role that sport and physical activity plays in communities and in people's lives across the world. Sport has the power to change the world. It is a fundamental right, a powerful tool to strengthen social ties and promote sustainable development and peace, and well as solidarity and respect. Through our unique individual skills and collective power, we can come together and share creative ways to improve our health and well-being through sport and physical activities, even from the confines of our own home. Passed by the United Nations General Assembly on 23rd August 2013, it was supported by the International Olympic Committee. This was observed first on 6th April 2014. This date commemorates the inauguration in 1896 of the first Olympic Games of the modern era in Athens, Greece. Media conference with Lal Goyal wishes you all on this International Day of Sport for Development. Now coming to the topic, that is the role of youth in lockdown. बड़े ही महत्व की है भूमिका युवाओं की, तो कोरोना के योद्धा वीर युवा ही हैं, सुनिए। लॉकडाउन काल में बड़े ही बुरे हाल में अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ युवा ही हैं, सुनिए। बच्चे जो असहाय हों, बुजुर्ग असहाय हों, सहायक बलबीर युवा ही हैं, सुनिए। मुश्किल में महिलाएं समझ ना कुछ पाएं, तब द्रौपदी के चीर युवा ही हैं, सुनिए। This short poem on today's topic was specially composed and sent by Mr. Paramatmanand Pandey Matwala. He is the president of Utho Jago Foundation. He is a journalist and a farmer. Thank you very much, Mr. Pandey, for sending us the everyday on the topic your short poems. Thank you very much. If you don't come out of this lockdown with new skill, more knowledge, better health and fitness, you never lacked time, you lacked discipline. A lockdown is a requirement for people to stay where they are, usually due to specific risks to themselves or to others if they can move freely. The term stay at home or shelter in place is often used for lockdowns that affect an area rather than specific locations. A lockdown can also be used to protect people inside a facility or, for example, a computing system from a threat or other external event. In buildings, doors leading outside are usually locked so that no person may enter or exit. A full lockdown usually means that people must stay where they are and may not enter or exit a building or rooms within it, needing to go to the nearest place designated safe if not already in such a place. The first lockdown implemented during COVID-19 as a preventive measure was in Wuhan in January 2020. Widespread lockdowns were issued in the COVID-19 pandemic. The term is used for a prison protocol that usually prevents people, information, or objects from leaving an area. The protocol can usually only be initiated by someone in a position of authority. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the term lockdown was used for actions related to mass quarantines or stay-at-home orders. By early April 2020, 3.9 billion people worldwide were under some form of lockdown, more than half the world's population. By late April, around 300 million people were under lockdown in nations of Europe, while around 200 million people were under lockdown in Latin America. Nearly 300 million people, or about 90% of the population, were under some form of lockdown in the United States, and 1.3 billion people have been under lockdown in India. The COVID-19 lockdown changed the way we look at our world on. Unprecedented global event that compelled us to pause our lives and stay in our homes. Now, why we are talking about the lockdown? Because the COVID is coming back. COVID returns on 5th April 2021. That is yesterday, till yesterday, after India registered 96,557 new cases of coronavirus and 445 deaths, which has taken the country's cumulative tally past 12.68 million and the death toll to 1,65,577. State governments are now started lockdown in phases. Maharashtra government imposes new restrictions. New guidelines are implemented from April 5th to April 30th. Section 144 implemented across the state, that is not more than 5 people will be allowed to gather during the day. Besides, a night curfew will be imposed from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Public places like gardens, beaches, etc. will be completely closed. Except groceries, chemist shops, and other essential services, all other shops will remain closed till April 30th. Karnataka government decided to suspend class 6th to 9th to contain the spread of the coronavirus. Boarding schools and residential hostels shall be closed except for the students of class 10, 11, 12, and for students of higher and professional courses appearing in board or university examination and health sciences. Youth can play a very important role in lockdown, using social media and apps to spread accurate information, not the fake news. They themselves follow and encourage others to follow all the conditions of lockdown. They should take care of senior citizens staying in their building or in locality. They should motivate all the eligibles to get vaccination as early as possible. And to discuss today's very, very important topic, that is role of youth in lockdown, we have 6 youths who are going to express their views, and we have our chief guest, Dr. Kurian. Now, before I will go to our chief guest, and as our chief guest has permitted, I am inviting one guest, youth guest, because she got the information that she is going to appear for an exam at 11 a.m. So she wants that she should be taken first. And so I am inviting her, and her name is Miss Vemula Ayoniza Devi. Miss Devi, the topic today is role of youth in lockdown. And although you got the information after you gave the consent for this program that you are going to appear at exam at 11 a.m. as an exceptional case, our chief guest is kind enough, because he is also a principal of the college. He knows the importance of the exams. Unlike the politicians, for them the education is not that important. So we would like to know from you the role of youth in lockdown. Miss Vemula Ayoniza Devi, please speak. First, you give your introduction, and then you can speak.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for considering my things. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I am Vemula Ayoniza Devi, pursuing Masters in Business Administration at University of Hyderabad. I hope everyone is doing very well in this pandemic. Before getting into the topic, I would like to thank Dr. Mohanlal Agarwal, sir, President of Indo-Gulf Marketing Association, and Lal Goyal, sir, for getting me into this. Now, let me get into the topic. Role of youth in lockdown. During this pandemic times, we are all experiencing multiple stages of panic, paranoia, fear, uncertainty, and even disbelief. How could this happen? It is happening to us, all of us, and all of us together. From the past 1 year, whole world started a new way of living with actions such as social distancing and working from home in order to prevent this coronavirus. Everyone across the world faced with a new way of doing day-to-day life. The most important and urgent step is to be rational, to exercise calm and reason in all situations. Youth represent energy, creativity, and innovation and should be beacons of hope that always support the community, especially in times of such pandemic crisis. Youth-led civil society and movements are acting on an unprecedented scale. Youth are mobilizing communities to protect themselves and supporting governments with health workers together. Youth work has shown its flexibility in an often inflexible world. It has shown its ability to manifest it into something new. Being educated, energetic, active group with high immunity system, youth have come forward and help in rescue, relief, and rehabilitation of all those who have been affected the COVID-19 crisis. Through individual acts and collective action, young people are reclaiming power in the face of this pandemic. The United Nations Secretary General Envoy to the Youth has prescribed 5 ways for youth to be part of global COVID-19, which are following WHO guidelines like educating families, friends, and communities, volunteering, donating, and holding the government accountable. Apart from that youth across the globe have provided during this crisis, the following acts have shown the young people's resilience in the form of self-organized, self-mobilized, and leading from the front in different areas. In that, the first is about creating opportunities. VLCs, we'll get into it within few seconds. Self-employment with one's skill set, upgrading and updating oneself. Yeah. There have been a good rise in the startups, especially by young entrepreneurs who have strong belief in their own expertise and have created many opportunities for themselves. As the physical classes have come into halt in schools and colleges across the country, in Telangana Social Welfare Residential Institutional Society come up with the concept of VLCs, Village Learning Circles, where the youth, college students, conduct classes for the kids in the villages at the panchayat office or common meeting place, and taking all the necessary precautions to make sure that the learning should never stop. Youth have realized the power of self-employment and have come with a wide variety of opportunities for themselves depending on their specific skill sets. Most importantly, this pandemic time has given a lot of time for youth who otherwise have relatively less time owing to regular affairs like college or workplace, etc. This time has been really helpful in updating one's knowledge in the relevant fields and upgrade themselves in various advanced domains. We, the youth, came to know more about relationships. Every time parents try to hide the financial crisis in the family with kids. But now, being with parents, we saw that side and learned the saving of money. By serving poorest of the poor during a lockdown, we learned how we'll get satisfied by helping others. Coming to my background, of course, I'm a youth, maybe different to many. Age 22, as I said, I'm pursuing Masters in Business Administration in a new normal. I was previously involved in a number of their projects as a young person myself. My 10 years of being a young person involved in youth have given me more skills than you possibly imagine. And the opportunities I got, I thought I had prepared for me for anything youth could throw at me. That was, of course, until COVID-19. However, it is not to say that all the hope is lost. I got explored to my hobbies like drawing, painting, and gardening. I found my childhood back after a decade. As I say, it has been a year since we embarked our online youth journey, and I'm sure each of us could write a blog on things we have learned about the resilience. Working online and at home is hard. Isolation from colleagues and others and those around us is not something we are used to. Youth are inherently sociable people. They thrive off all the activities, discussions, and debates, as do many of the young people we work with. There is no denying that our people will throw many challenges at us over the upcoming weeks and months. There is no doubt that what we are going through will change the way we work in years to come. The plans for digital work we had in 5 years' time have now been catapulted into here and now, and we have no choice but to work with them. We'll get things wrong, we'll get things right, we'll fail, and we'll try again. Most importantly, we'll learn. We'll learn alongside young people. And like most countries around the globe, we'll come out with new found skills and knowledge and an appreciation for the work we do every day. Finally, I could say youth played a prominent role in this new normal. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ms. Thank you very much, Ms. Devi, for giving your such a thought-provoking opening. I must say that you are like an opening batsman. And what you have made a very, very good point. That is that for the first time, the youth realized the financial condition of the family because they were at home. Otherwise, generally, youths are always going out either in the college or schools or going but not at home. And they are not aware what is the financial condition, how the family is being run by the parents. And that is a very important point. If the youth, especially during the lockdown, understand that the family is such a unit, if it is not financially strong, if it is not getting that much, then the youth have to think before spending any money for the those things which are not very much required. Thank you very much, Ms. Devi, and all the best for your exam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now I would like to invite and introduce my chief guest, and he is Dr. Adhi Karthel, Dr. Kurian Adhi Karthel. Is MSW, MPhil, PhD. Dr. Kurian is the principal of Alvas College, Mudbidri. Dr. Kurian worked from 1991 to 2000 with Koraga tribe of Dakshin Kannada through Samagra Grameen Ashram Corp, which is involved in tribal activism in Karnataka. He was principal of Alvas College of Social Work from 2000 to 2009. He has been the member of BOE and BOS of Mangalore University. He initiated 16 new postgraduate programs and coordinated and implemented the academic, administrative, and infrastructural and research requirements. He coordinated NAAC visit for the first time in the institute and completed the NAAC accreditation. He initiated more than 30 certificate courses. He initiated various teachers development programs. He initiated research-centered pedagogy for postgraduate departments. He is guiding and monitoring the academic functioning of 174 faculty members and 40 departments. Welcome, Dr. Kurian, on our show. Dr. Kurian, you know the condition in India, especially when we are talking of India, is very bad. Although many countries, even Europe, as well as USA, they are also not in that good way. But in India, the COVID is returning back. Once we have, in February, it has gone down like anything. But from February, it has started increasing. And now, day before yesterday, that is the Sunday, that Saturday, the figure was about 1.03 lakhs. Yesterday being the Sunday, on the Sunday, yesterday is Monday, the Sunday figure which came yesterday was less, but it was also very alarming. Now, when it is increasing by this way, and all the other few of the state governments have started putting state under lockdown, like Maharashtra is almost under lockdown. All the shops, everything is closed. School, colleges, everything has been closed there. Then Karnataka has already closed the schools up to certain standard. But gradually, if the cases are going to increase, the lockdown is going to take place. Even there is a news just came in that the night curfew is going to be imposed in Delhi also. So when this is the situation, how the youth can play an important role. So role of youth in lockdown, Dr. Kurian, please.
Thank you. Welcome all the young people on the board, and also a young enthusiastic Lal Goyal sir. Probably I'll start with him. Being a member of GAN, he has been involved in conferences from the day one of lockdown, and he has not stopped the whole conversation on various topics, probably all possible topics all across the globe. all this 1 year. Probably I should comment on him that is a commendable energy. Probably the young people with me on the board and as well as look at him and follow him. That is the first thing that I require to tell you all. And today's topic, as Lal Goyal sir is rightly saying, again lockdown, a kind of environment where we may have to restrain ourselves from a lot of activities is being discussed upon, and it's also many governments as Karnataka, Maharashtra governments are bringing it up. Now, the last year when we saw lockdown, the one important question that we did not ask is how we look at lockdown. So basically we have been told many things by media, maybe the authorities and thing, but we should have, as a young people, we should have a correct kind of understanding what is lockdown is for. Of course, it is to restrain us from moving physically out and also to protect the people who are vulnerable. Of course, young people have been not considered as vulnerable as considered to be of children and older people. But so when you say lockdown, the last year, we almost missed out a proper definition for it. Definition, the Lal Goyal sir has put up a definition saying that it's an activity where we cannot go out, we have restraints, physical distancing, and a kind of a law-bound activity where we cannot surpass it. But lockdown should be looked at from a different perspective. That is, lockdown construction. Lockdown is for surpassing the limits. So when it's a usual human mind tendency that when somebody limits us, we usually try to surpass the limits. It's a normal tendency in almost all animals, especially in human beings, because our freedom cannot be curtailed. We fight with it. So naturally, we should not curtail our freedom, surpass limits. Lockdown is for extension. I'm starting with an example. The whole last year, if you just look at very closely to the villages and to the human pockets and in the very remote parts of the country, you find that they were very active. I'll quote people. Say, for example, young people who are drivers, young people who are laborers, agricultural laborers especially agricultural laborers, the laborers, road players, the people who have been running petty shops. See, you just look at them. The whole economy, the whole lockdown was successful, not because everybody followed the rule, also because these young people looked at lockdown from a different perspective, saying that I am the one who has to take up responsibility doing small things to support the whole big problem. So look at the beautiful contributions they have made. I can quote in a number of young people, which I don't want to name. My own few students, which I can really see, as soon as the lockdown began, I know that more than 50 children of my own have gone to villages and started working on agriculture. I see that many 20 to 25 of my young friends have gone out with a lot of relief materials for many who have been held up due to various reasons, and they're supporting families. So why I am specifically saying this example is, when there is somebody says lockdown, immediately what I request all of you is to see the opportunities. It is not restraining you. It is not going to stop us. Rather, it is going to make us more stronger. That is the first point that I would like to make. The second point, which is little connected to the first point that I made, you just look at the various sects of the people's reaction. Let's take students, because most of us are students on the board, and as well as the people who are listening to me, and I'm almost with the students. The first initial, maybe around 4 to 5 months, all students started enjoying it. They, instead of taking up a responsibility of making their learning better, 90% of the cases, I'm not saying everybody, started saying it as an opportunity to rest. The wrong approach. Instead of that, the day one, if at all lockdown comes again in a big way, I request all my young friends, make your very, very meticulous plan of learning, for 1 year or 2 years, whatever is required. Say, This is the period for active learning, not the period for passive silence. And you just look at the one group is students. You just look at the professionals of the management level professionals, or youngsters, IT professionals, maybe the professionals of sustenance, the basic level professionals or higher level professionals whom I call as laborers, agricultural producers, drivers, all kind of agricultural laborers, small people involved in business. They were the higher level order professionals according to me. Why? Because they started sustaining the system. There are another group of people who developed a dependency on the system. So there are you can see two kind of responses to the lockdown. One is the people who have developed dependency on the system. The second group of people who developed ability to sustain the system. Now, definitely all of you will agree with me that the people who have worked for the sustenance of the system are real heroes, and the people developed dependency started getting into different kind of mental problems as well. A lot of counseling cases was even referred to me, and as a lot of our counselors also, and a lot of groups we had in Karnataka and maybe all across the country, all of them, all who got mental trauma, could be kind of all those negative feelings, were one who were not involved in any assertive activities. So this time, if at all lockdown comes in, I hope it won't come, because we are in a very safe condition. Even though cases are rising, it will not lead to a lockdown and kind of things. That's what we hope, and we should work for it. Naturally, it's not only hope, we should work for it. But if at all it comes back, see that each young person is actually involved in something. It could be learning, it can be learning, and also along with some productivity activities. It could be of a social support system, it could be of any health support system, it could be adding skills to yourself, it could be adding economic support to your family. I don't mean you need to work for the whole country. Stand with your parents and see that you add extra money to your family. So you take a decision. The Ionisa, when she was speaking, she told us that I realized how important money is and what is the difficulties of parents. What did you do? We should have added at least 100 rupees every day to the economy of the family. That is a responsibility. You may ask, how can we do that when it's a lockdown? There are plenty of ways of doing it. I'll quote one example of one of my students who is in North Karnataka, who connected one village in South Karnataka and started importing and exporting various materials between these two villages. Of course, it was discussed in one of our discussions in the media conference also. This person took it up and he went on for at most 8, 6, 9 months. So it was a support group between 10 to 15 farmers between the two villages. So there are a lot of apps come in, there are a lot of positive things came in. Great it was. So what I'm trying to tell you all is, it is the way we look at the situation. Don't come under, especially sir was very particular about it, the way we manage the information. Informations were just given to us. Most of them were not true and scientific, which we passed on to many. So this will be a very, very important responsibility of each young man and women to see that you pass on only the right and verified information. Probably the biggest panic and setback was built about lockdown was because of wrong informations. If the information is right and guiding all of us in a right direction, the impact would have been much, much less than what we had experienced. It would be the impact on the whole economy. It could be the impact on the education. Being a principal, being a teacher, I feel so sad and bad that how badly we manage the education system. I don't mind, I'm not saying I don't mind loss of 100 crore rupees, but it is much, much, much more than the 100 crore rupees, the loss of education that has happened to around 35 crore people in our country for 1 year. That is unprecedented, and it is an unmatchable loss. So what I, as Ionisa was rightly saying, there were efforts to keep learning going and all those kind of things. If lockdown comes at all now, we should argue that none of our educational activities should get affected. As Lal Goyal sir was rightly saying, we have money for everything. Why can't we earmark money and separate systems for continuing our education in a beautiful way without affecting our health for the lockdown period? That should be the first priority. And I believe all our young people should argue for it. None of our exams should get cancelled. None of our classes could get cancelled. We want to see that we are on the same pivotal points and we progress during any kind of lockdown henceforth. It could be lockdown for a kind of health reason. It could be lockdown for various other reasons also. We may encounter this in your future life. Maybe, I hope we should not, but if at all any of it, could be war, it could be a natural disaster, it could be a health disaster, anything can happen. And these kind of possibilities may arise in your life. So I request, make this as a learning lesson. This 1 year, what we went through should be a lesson for all of us, and build proper, judged and rational behavior on this learning, not emotional. So let us be very, very rational. What should I do with respect to me, the community around, maybe various issues around? That is why I usually salute the people whom I call the professionals of the first order. Agriculturists, the students are the children, and probably the young people involved there, supply chain who are involved there, drivers, health workers, and the teachers who moved around and worked. And then probably the people who worked for infrastructure during this time, road payers, the people who work in masons, all those kind of people. But as you must have all know, agriculture was only a resort, and that is what the agriculture was a sector which really helped our economy to sustain when all other sectors failed. That means the people who worked all across during the global pandemic, and especially the lockdown in India, are the people who have sustained the thing, and their spirit has to be our spirit, and the way they judged, rationalized the thing has to be the path where we have to go in. So I stop my open comments. I would like to listen to all of you and your great words by concluding only one word, saying that lockdown, if at all it has happened now, it will happen in future. It should be always for construction. Construction, gearing up, beautiful things to come on. Thank you. And I wish, I would like to listen to all of you, and I'll release your thoughts. Thank you. Thank you, Goyal sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kurian, for giving such a, I must say, motivational and inspirational thoughts of yours about the lockdown and the role of youth in lockdown. And what Dr. Kurian has said very clearly, that the youth must see the opportunity in lockdown. In last 1 year, many have taken this as a challenge, and they have won the lockdown in a very big way, but many has not done it. But according to Dr. Kurian, in case if the lockdown is going to be imposed again, don't take it as something which is going to harm you. Rather, it should be the thing where you can prove yourself to be a winner by utilizing the time where you should have a good and great learning during this time. And he also appealed to the youth that youth should ask everyone that no exam should be cancelled, no classes should be cancelled, the education should be given the topmost priority. He also said, Dr. Kurian also said, that he won't mind to lose so much crores of rupees, but the academic year or the education of the youth should not be lost in any case. And he says that the youth have lots of responsibility during the lockdown, where he or she can support even their family by adding something. And he has given an example of a youth who has imported and exported between two cities where the agriculture produce. And he is a champion of agriculture, and he says that he always give importance to the agriculture or those laborers who are working on the road, who are there for the infrastructure development, and they are real heroes. So the youth should understand the possibility and the capacity of themselves, and they have lots of things to do. They are the real corona warrior. They are in the front. They can do many things during the lockdown. They must not feel themselves handicapped that they cannot go out. They can go out in many ways. And he also emphasized no fake news at all. Whatsoever news are coming to you, filter it, judge it, see to it, screen it. If it is right, then spread it. Otherwise, don't spread any fake news. It is more harmful than even the virus. And as far as the vaccine is concerned, he also says that those who are eligible, youth should motivate them so that everyone should get the vaccine. Thank you very much, Dr. Kurian, for your opening. Very, very inspiring and motivational talk. I'm sure the youths who are participating here and those who are watching our show are going to be motivated by your talk. And not only the youth, I must say, senior citizens or the adults, they also take the cue from you that this lockdown, which is, in my opinion, is inevitable, but according to Dr. Kurian, it may not come. Let's see. But because this is coming, the fault lies with us. We have not followed the norms. We have not followed the protocol. We have seen how the people, even the youth, are not wearing the mask, no social distancing. And I will not blame only the youth, the seniors, the political leaders, the religious leaders. We can see the election rallies, 50,000 lakhs of people. We have seen the Kumbh Mela. We can see the Holi. We can see all the organizations which are doing this. They all are one of the reason for bringing this lockdown. But the youth can play a very, very big role. Thank you very much, Dr. Kurian. Now I would like to invite my youth guest, and my first youth guest is Mr. Arjun Prakash. Mr. Arjun Prakash, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, and
Yes, sir.
you also heard one of the youth guests also. Now we would
Yes,
like
sir.
to know from you the role of youth in lockdown. Mr. Arjun Prakash, please first introduce yourself and then.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Goyal sir and Dr. Kurian sir, and all. Welcome to all my youth guests here. So myself, Arjun Prakash, I'm working as assistant professor in Mangla. So I would start my word. If you want to rest for tomorrow, rest today. So what is rest now? R is for responsible. So be responsible citizen of the country on this lockdown and spread awareness in the society. And E stands for educate. Educate your families, friends, and community. Spread community awareness online. It might be online as well as offline properly, and spread about how to wash the hands more often, avoid crowded spaces, avoid handshaking, and also if you are sick, wear a mask and seek medical attention immediately. This is what E stands for. Educate people, educate, spread awareness. And S, which stands for sincere. So be sincere to work which you do. So wherein social media has plays a vital role in spreading the messages. So unfortunately, what happens is a fake news spreads so fast in times of uncertainty. So be responsible. Verify everyone's information, every news and information before sharing. Be a source of calm during this storm. Okay, time, which is very important. So make maximum use of the time you get. If there are old people or people who are vulnerable, help them out. People in the society, donate your time to the society for a good cause. So which is precious. So this is what I mean for rest. R for responsible, E for educate, S for sincere, T for time. So in order to conclude, we need young people's leadership now more than what we had. Most of all, I'm doing all the works get done. Stay healthy and stay safe. Let's listen to the authorities, stay alert and be calm with open mind. Rest today so that you can rest tomorrow. Thank you, sir, for giving
Thank you
me
very
the
much.
opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arjun Prakash, for analyzing and giving the advice to the youth about the rest today so that you can rest tomorrow. And you have given the word by word definition of rest, R-E-S-T. Very nice. I'm sure the youth, if they will take your advice, which you have given very nicely, definitely things can come. And during the lockdown, it's very much required that we must become a responsible citizen of the country. We must think that if we ourselves is responsible, then the country can be responsible. We should not take the only thing that, okay, leaders are like doing this or the seniors are doing this. Let them do what they are doing. But if youth, which are 65% population of the country, if you are in majority, not we, the senior citizens, if you all will decide that we don't want lockdown, we don't want that the corona should come back, then corona will not come back. If you will become responsible, as Mr. Arjun Prakash has mentioned, then corona cannot come. If you will start wearing the mask, and if you will tell your parents, the elders, please wear the mask if you are going out, please keep social distancing, no parties, no functions, definitely the corona or the lockdown will not be there, and which is very much required. After all, your future is in your hand, your present is also in your hand. If you all will become the responsible, if you consider that yes, we are responsible, and charity begins from home, this is this thing, this responsibility also begins from home, from you only, the youth only. Thank you very much, Mr. Arjun Prakash, for giving a new definition of rest. I'm sure the youth will get the benefit. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Kajal Goyal. Miss Kajal Goyal, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, as well as earlier youth guest. Now I would like to know from you the role of youth in lockdown. Miss Kajal Goyal, please.
Good morning, everyone. Present here, I am Kajal Goyal, B.Ed second year student, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad. Today, my topic is role of youth in lockdown. COVID-19, the coronavirus, a pandemic, has made us realize that we all are connected and this entire world is a family. Although connected medical expert has suggested social distancing as one of the perfect solutions to fight against the new evil. Our Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji indicated how COVID-19 chain can be splintered. With the 21 days country lockdown, but to flatten the scars of COVID-19, the lockdown must be respected and accepted by 130 crore Indians altogether. Youth in India constitute about more than 1/4 of the total population. We as the responsible youth of this country should participate in this battle against the zoonotic disease. Now, let's understand the role of youth in this battle. To name some of their, from the canvas of history, Lenin, the Russian youth, had a major contribution to the Russian Revolution. Likewise, Mazzini and Bhagat Singh also contributed their role for the country. This battle can also be won by the helping the government. In this time of exigency, we can spread the right awareness in our society. 24/7 WhatsApp group with the right information about the virus. WhatsApp, social media groups also have as much as traffic on our roads. Let's spread the right music among our acquaintances during this situation. Every religious activity has been on hold in lieu of coronavirus outbreak. Still, if we see any of the gathering around, it's our responsibility to guide and report if required. We live in a democracy and we have the right to put our thoughts on the table. But this is the time to stand with the government. Admittedly, there is a lot about being tested positive for COVID-19 and facing quarantine for a couple of weeks. But what gets measured gets managed. If the positive cases are effectively measured, we shall be able to contain the outbreak effectively. So it's our responsibility to spread the right kind of awareness. The outbreak of coronavirus has also affected the mental health of humans as everyone reacts differently to stressful situations. So in this hour of stress, anxiety, let's spread the right knowledge, right humors, and right videos to win this battle. It is not the coronavirus that affects us. It is the quick spread, which is a threat. Let us do our part and participate in this battle by staying at home. And remember, दूर रहोगे तो स्वस्थ रहोगे. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kajal Goyal. दूर रहोगे, स्वस्थ रहोगे. If you stay away, you will be healthy, according to Ms. Kajal Goyal, and she has also mentioned that the fake news and the news which is true. She says one can create the awareness by making WhatsApp groups, other groups, so that they can create the awareness in the society so that the people can understand. Yes, it is right. Only thing is that youth must verify the news very closely without thinking that it is going, without taking any proper cross check. Please don't forward the news because it can harm like anything. Thank you very much, Ms. Goyal, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and he is Mr. Manuel Sugesh. Mr. Sugesh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Sugesh, you have heard what our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, has mentioned, as well as our earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you your views on role of youth in lockdown. Mr. Manuel Sugesh, please.
My name is Manuel Sugesh, and I am a second year BSW student at School of Social Work, Roshni Nilaya, Mangalore. And here I would like to stand with a message to the youth that never give up or waste your youthfulness. Use it wisely, because it would be the biggest mistake to give up on the time that you have. The wisest thing for a youth to do is use all the resources and opportunity available to him or her. And talking about the role of youth during lockdown, it is very much important that with all the availability of unlimited resources at our fingertip, without any social, physical contact with people, the youth can get lots of information about why we are in the lockdown and what are its impacts, and we can use it without any social interaction, physical interaction. Through social medias we could convey the message, we can educate people on the rightful thing, on the real meaning of the lockdown, real purpose of the lockdown. There are many misunderstandings, people are being misled, and there are many myths which are more harmful than the virus itself. So it is very necessary that the youth take this step to stand against all the misinformation. The second thing that I would like to say is, during this time, instead of being lazy, being lethargic, one must try to develop one's own skills and the basic things that we need in life, so that we could use it not only for the benefit of ourselves but also for our family, for our community, for the society. And in this way we can not only help ourselves but also help people around us. We can bring goodness to the life of other people. And I would like to conclude by saying that please do not take the time that we have for granted. Instead, use the opportunities, use the time wisely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sugesh, for giving your advice. And he says that they use the time wisely. And he also mentioned about that we should not spread the fake news. And we have a power. We must utilize the time properly. If we will utilize the time properly, definitely youth can play a very, very important role. Thank you very much, Mr. Sugesh, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Salian Diksha Bhaskar. Miss Diksha, you have heard our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, as well as earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in lockdown. Miss Salian Diksha Bhaskar, please.
Myself, Salian Diksha Bhaskar, pursuing first year MBA from Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, Nikkei Karthala, Mangalore. So today's topic is role of youth in lockdown. What is the role of youth in lockdown? In pandemic situation, last year we have saw many drastic changes in our personal schedule and even the professional lives of many people. So starting it was tough to adjust, but later with a point of a normal behavior, we adjusted to each and everything. So what is our role play here? So first, and before going to higher end of role plays, the first thing is we have to be a rational person here. We have to think. We have to decide properly what we want to do and what we don't. We should not blindly follow anything or blindly send anything. as others also spoke about it, sharing messages, sharing fake messages is very important here because something which is fake really spreads viral. So we should be rational enough to share messages to anyone because we are youth. So we know how to use the technology, how to use the information properly. And secondly, follow simple routines and follow the guidelines of WHO. Following the guidelines of WHO is also the one of the important thing here because we are the people who are going out from our home because our parents are we are staying with our parents, we are staying with our grandparents who are in a risk position here. So we can't risk their lives. So we should be safe enough. We should follow all the guidelines before stepping out of the home. That is very important because here in this lockdown, from the last year, we got to know the importance of health. We got to know the importance of physical and mental both, physical health and mental health both. So here we have to think wisely. We have to think about our family before stepping our house, taking precautions, taking sanitizers with our hands, wearing masks when we are out. That is important because we can't risk anybody's life and even ours. And here the youth should play a role of taking an action and taking an initiative and taking an control. Here, action, control, and initiative is main part of an youth because youth is today's leader. We are growing ourselves. We are taking an initiative which inculcates the leadership quality in us. Even in last year, as we observed, many of the people, many of the youth, we can say, there are very great examples, specifically in India, who stepped out, who donated, who were out for serving people, who helped others. Even with people, they even served animals. Last year we observed that in during lockdown, with people, animals also suffered. There were many animals in the streets; they were not getting proper food because of lockdown. No proper water facilities, nothing were there. So they were suffering a lot. So not only people, animals also suffer. So here, as a youth, we are also responsible enough to take care of our animals, take care of our family and others' family too. We should not be selfish, but only thinking of our family or our household. So if you're going out, we have to also think that others also can affect by us. So we have to be responsible enough to that also. And hold your government accountable. Here, the government also plays a role. The government will give an guidelines. Government will say lockdown. We should not think that government will say we will do. We should take initiative here. We should help government here. We should educate people also. In this sense, we can say that during lockdown, even everyone has faced our family or the relatives of us don't have proper knowledge about it. They would be thinking, what is COVID-19? What is pandemic? Why this lockdown is? So they don't have proper education about it. So here it is our responsibility to educate them properly, to make them understand what is COVID-19, why we have to take the precautions, why it will affect us, our health benefits, what will be the health issues, what will be the negative points of COVID-19, and even we have to guide them how we have to improve our immunity. Because at this time they will not understand it properly. So we are the person who have to make them understand about it. And secondly, as a youth, we are staying at home. We are rather one we will work from home or we will learn from home. So here, rather than wasting the time, we have to utilize the time. We have to learn. Learning is the main thing. It is a lockdown, accept it, but it is not a lockdown for education. So we have to utilize the time, do some certification courses, or we can learn many things sitting at home because we have internet connectivity, we have mobiles, everything. Sitting idle is not the solution for everything. And when I say we have time and we have internet connectivity, but not using this for leisure or pleasure things, we have to use it for our build up or for our improvement, which will be used in further years. So that is also a main thing. And even as Kurian sir mentioned, many of the things which you have to do, and even an example of his student he said, which is very good. And even I can give some example which I found here, which is relatable to his example was there are many startups which came up last year during lockdown, which helps people a lot. And even we found that how innovative a person is. Though he or she is sitting at home, the people, students or youth are very innovative and creative. So during this lockdown, we also know that sitting idle is not a solution. So they started home, they thought in a rational manner, and also they came up with very innovative and creative ideas through startups. That startups are really working well. As an MBA student, I know how it is struggling, or how it is important, or how hard work it is to come up with a startup plan and working on it. So they came up with it, and it is working so nicely. It is really an appreciated and commendable thing of them. And even I want that we should also work on it. We should work on ourselves. We should work on our people surrounding us, and also help everyone. And by concluding this, I just want to say, stay home, stay positive, stay motivated, and stay safe. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Diksha. Stay positive, but not for the COVID. But what she has mentioned is very, very important. She made three important points. First was about the animals. Yes, during the lockdown, the conditions we have seen the last time, what happened to those pets or the stray dogs. Miss Menka Gandhi came on my show once and she said the same thing. She says the most sufferer during the lockdown were the animals. And there are few people who were against to feed them. That is wrong. One must have that much, because see, they can't speak. They cannot express but we must understand their language. We must feed them. That was a very good point which she has made. Second point which she said, why not to do some certification course? I cannot say about India. I think Dr. Kurian will be able to tell me, but I know there are courses. Really, I also wanted to do courses. There are courses offered by the foreign university, whether Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, free of charge. Many of the courses are free of charge. You just log in there. There are so many courses, 4 days course, 1 week course, 15 days course, 1 month course. Youth can utilize this. I cannot say about India because because somebody has told me, why not you do course? I wanted to do course. I wanted to enroll, but then because of this media conference, I am not getting time. 13 to 15 hours every day I have to spend here. As Dr. Kurian has mentioned about me, I can say, because you have mentioned this, yes, this is also a way. When the lockdown started, and Dr. Kurian knows that our aim was in the Gyan to promote the global youth activity network, and where we wanted the globally youth should come connected with each other. And suddenly the lockdown came, and we are in the process to start this program. So I started this along with the support from all the Gyan members. And I found that in last 1 year, I have not got any time. I have not gone under any mental depression. All my friends are talking to me. They are calling me, how you are feeling? I said, I'm fine, because I'm engaged. Same thing, if youth engage yourself mentally, physically, yes, whatsoever exercises you can do, but you know that so many exercises during the lockdown, I'm talking of the lockdown. But if you engage yourself positively, mentally, like you can do any certification course, you can start your own startups, you can also earn money. Startup doesn't mean that when one can think only of the Facebook or YouTube or Airbnb or OYO, etc., etc. They were also startups at one time. Infosys was also a startup. Reliance was also a startup. So you have to start. After all, a child, when he's born, and today, if you become youth, doesn't mean that you cannot do anything. The child can think, what I am going to do. So youth have the power. And I want to correct, one of my panelists mentioned 1/4. No, you are 65%. Some in Google search, if you will go, even they say 35 years, I take even 45% of the age, your population is more than 65%. So if you will start doing such type of thing, small things at home, first thing, you will be engaged. You will not go under mental depression at all. You can also guide the other youths, other kids, or the small children, so that they can also be educated. And as our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, has mentioned about the importance of education. If youth will not be educated, what is going to happen? Yesterday, I had a program of media conference, COVID returns impact on education. And I asked the question to one of the professor in Mangalore. I asked him, why not government declare 0 year for the education? And he says, no, if we will declare the 0 year, what is going to happen to youth? My counter argument was that just think this 1 year, these students who are online education, no proper infrastructure is there with them, no proper internet connectivity is there. How and 67% students belongs to rural area. Now, if they are not being properly educated, then after 10 years, when they will go for an interview, the corporate HR person will ask, from which year you have passed your graduation. And once you mention that I have done in 2021, he will immediately or she will immediately say, oh, Corona year student. And that will be a negative point. To counter it, you must understand that whether online or offline, you have to study more in this period, so that after 10 years or any time, if anybody asks any question, you are ready to reply. Because otherwise, you will all this year's 2021 or 21-22 will be tagged as a corona year, COVID year. For that, you should be prepared. And this is in your hand. No one will guide you. No leader are guiding you, only your teachers, your family, and yourself. So please be ready. Educate yourself more and more. Thank you very much, Ms. Diksha, for giving such a good advice. I'm sure the youths will take cue from you and follow you. Thank you very much, Ms. Diksha. Now I would like to invite my last youth guest, and she is Ms. Shibana Banu Abdul Khani. Ms. Shibana Banu, you have heard what our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, has spoken and what earlier youth guest has spoken. Please unmute yourself.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. So now we would like to know from you the role of youth in lockdown. First, introduce yourself and then go ahead.
A warm welcome and a fresh morning to everyone gathered here. I'm Shivana Bana Abdul Ghani. I'm pursuing my UG program in Al Azhar College, Todbla, Kerala. I'm glad to have this opportunity and special appreciation to Lal Goel sir and Dr. Kurian sir. I'm happy to be a part of this. Thank you so much for such an opportunity. So let's talk about role of youth in lockdown. India is a demographic diverse large country with high population density. The national-wide lockdown was the only strategy in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, which started on 25th March 2020, and it's continued in its fifth phase until 13 June 2020, with some relaxation in no-infection areas. The COVID-19 pandemic forced youth to use the internet and internet-based utilities to interact, communicate, and execute official duties from home. In the last years, I have realized how important technology has been in our lives. We started joining in virtual meeting with the aid of technology. Work from home became a new culture, and we eventually became fascinated with this word like you are on mute on Zoom, Google Meet, MS Team, and Sky meetings. The countries underprivileged are struggling as a result of coronavirus pandemic, and many people have grouped together to assist the poor and needy through the epidemic. Youth not only distribute food package to the poor, but they always identify urban deprived families who are not enrolled with any social security programs despite being free. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that state will recruit a 236,000 member strong community volunteer force to support special tasks initiated by the local self-governing bodies in the wake of COVID-19. Kerala battles the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been wreaking havoc across all spheres. The Kerala Volunteer Youth Action Force members are becoming role models to their selfless service. The volunteers are giving their everything for the betterment of society since the lockdown days, and many have not been to their homes for the past 50 to 60 days. while they're starting by helping in community kitchen, disinfection of public space, and home delivery of essential goods and medicines. Their duties have increased through the months. The social media activism has allowed youth to be more involved in policy making and governing in their communities. Petitions have been signed globally to bring justice to victims or police brutality and awareness to climate-related issues. COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown have brought about a sense of fear, anxiety around the globe. This phenomenon has led to short term as well as long term psychosocial and mental health implication for children and youth. The quality and magnitude of impact on minors are determined by many vulnerability factors like developmental age, educational status, pre-existing mental health condition, being economically underprivileged, or being quarantined due to infection or fear of pandemic. Parents fail to notice these silent cries of young minds, even though they provide high functional laptops, digital device for their full-fledged education. They fail to provide a proper system for children in their own home, wherein they can share everything without the fear of judgments. Many kids, small kids, face harassment from the house helps and even their family members. These kids suffer under the darkness the pandemic has created without proper schooling or counseling system. The problems remain unnoticed. Parents should improve their communication with their wards, try to maintain a friendly rapport with their kids, provide opportunity for outdoor games, tripping to their place of interest, considering the safety interaction with child of their age can be make them to lose to some extent. Another section that suffer from pandemic is the job seeking young adults, the ones who couldn't join after the campus placement, and youngsters who lost their jobs in this pandemic. Our job market and economic state are highly ruined. Modern policies and reforms of government have further aggravated this. It's high time to create and provide amply opportunity to these individuals. It's a high difficult task in a system controlled by corruption and nepotism. It's a high time to make changes in this direction instead of turning our youngster into a bunch of wasted resource. Healthy family relationship during this childhood and adolescence are important in outside of pandemic. During COVID-19, many children and young people found comfort at home, spending time with parents, siblings, and pets. For some, the connection with their parents strengthened, and this helps reduce anxiety and improve their mental health and well-being. Therefore, as schools and college remain shut off with lockdown persisting in a varying degrees. Youth are in a prolonged state of physical isolation from their peers group, teachers, extended family, and society. Being in a continued state of lockdown could change the chemistry between kids and parents. The impact of not being able to socialize with friends and family has all the impact on young people. Although social media is easily at our fingertips, nothing quite compares to meeting friends and family in real life with whose we seek comfort. It's surprising that anxiety levels has risen, especially as some people may always live in unsafe environment. They face or witness domestic violence. There is also the perception from some that young people are blamed for the spikes in COVID-19 infection through irresponsible behavior, while some have not all followed all the rules. It would be unfamiliar to solely blame young people as they have been irresponsible behavior among all age groups. The lack of clarity and confusion message from the government has not helped, and frequent tricks theories that some older people are beginning to buy into it. Therefore, pitting older and young people against each other. This has been a year like no other, causing difficulties, hardship for many people with a bleak outlook for young people due to lack of jobs and opportunity causing mental anxiety. I try to remain optimistic and hope that an end to this situation is in sight and we can return to our some sorts of normality soon. I have been thinking a lot. Why it is it will come out of this all equality? It's the situation has shown us that we all are same regardless of our religion, culture, custom, whether we are poor or rich. The virus simply does not choose. It connects us in a way. It shows us that we should all stick together during this choice. While many of us in panic, it shows us the weight of humanity. It reminds us as who we are. Maybe the world will finally change. Actually, teenager told us that young people they were attempting to stay optimistic, and many identify positive opportunity in lockdown, such as time to learn new skills, deepen a relationship with their families. Some used to lockdown to evaluate their lives, identify things they appreciated and things they would like to change. And here, hope is the only thing stronger than fear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shibana Banu, for giving your views. And Ms. Shibana Banu has raised few points. Rather, she mentioned about the challenges faced by the youth during the lockdown. And she mentioned about especially mentioned about the mental challenges which the kids faced. Yeah. So, which she says that the kids were facing lots of mental trauma during the lockdown. Yes. I can also mention that one of the teacher yesterday she was teaching in the DPS Chhindwara, and she says the problem which they are facing now after 1 year of online education, and now again the schools are still closed. I'm talking about the schools up to the 8th standard. She says when the child will come to the school, first thing is there is a fear, psychosis in the child to go out of in from the house, and to go to the school and to meet in the friends. It's not easy initially because it is like that you are a square one, especially the side. And secondly, how they are going to write, because they now only know how to click using the laptop. But once they will be coming to the school and they are supposed to write the things, which is a very, very difficult transformation, especially for a child. So that is a very, very challenging thing. Here also the role of youth can play a very important role. If you will start interacting with your younger siblings or young children, tell them that this is a temporary phenomena, it will pass off. Try to engage them with such type of board games or some things where they can spend some time, because they are already fed up sitting in front of the screen. Screen time is too much for the small child. And if you will engage them, so that here also the youth can play a very, very important role. Second point, which Ms. Shibana has made, was the responsibility of the government. Whether the government is doing something for the youth or not. Although she has made the comments about the Kerala government, I would not like to repeat today, because today is the election day, when the elections is on right now in Kerala, and rather the 4 states and 1 union territory, and almost all the elections will be completed except the West Bengal, which is again have to have in the few more phases. But still the youth has to take their own conscious decision. You are 65%. Who is the policy maker? Youth are not the policy maker in India. Again, I am repeating. If you want to know, you can Google. You have the power to see everything. In 1952, when the first parliament was constituted, 26% MPs were of the age of less than 45 years. This parliament, which was constituted in 2019, only 12% of the MPs are less than 45 years. Whose fault is this? The voters are eligible from 18 years onwards. I am sure all youth, if they take a decision that they will select the youth, then youth will come. But if you are not allowing youth to come, then to complain that a government is not doing, because after all, government is the policy makers. If they take a policy decision, one has to follow. This is a democracy. In this, majority rules. But if the majority belongs to the senior citizens, the oldies, they will decide with their limited knowledge. I will say limited knowledge. They have a vast experience, but they doesn't have the knowledge which the youth is having today. Because you are tech savvy. Our age, we were not knowing what is laptop and what is desktop and what is mobile phone. So if you will take a decision, you can change the scenario. So please, at the time of voting, you must know who is the correct candidate, who is a good candidate, who is not having any criminal cases against them, and who is a youth, and who is going to vote, who is going to take a decision for you people. So instead of saying that the government is not doing, or government is against youth, or government is against education, because senior citizens has completed their inning. They are on bonus. They are not bothered what is going to happen to the future. You have to play the full inning. You are the opening batsmen. They are the tail enders now. I am myself is a tail ender. We don't know when we can play for a one run or two run, but you are the openers. You have to play the long inning. So once you have to play a long inning, please vote. Please go and out and vote. Take your good decision and see to it that a good government should come in the state, in the center. Whichever government will come, whichever party, that is your decision. No one can influence your decision, but the decision should be perfect. Then only you can say that government is doing work or not. But to sit at home and just to say the government is doing this good, this is not doing, then it is our fault, your fault. You are 65%, but you are selecting only 12% of MPs in the country. Thank you very much, Ms. Shivana Banu, for giving very nice views. Now I would like to go back to our chief guest, Dr. Kurian. Dr. Kurian, you have heard the 6 youth, very vibrant youth. They have given lots of good. I must say, I'm getting the energy. You are complimenting me. I am saying, no, it's not a compliment to me. The compliment goes to youth. I am learning every day from them, and I take the energy from them. I'm not a good, I can't say that I have studied so high, but I know one thing, that a power, you can get the power like a sun. One can get the power energy from sun. So I am getting that youthful energy from them. Now I want to know your concluding and again very motivational, inspirational concluding remarks for today's media conference. Our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, please.
Thank you, sir. I'm wonderfully, agree with all the thoughts of you. Actually, being a principal or a teacher for a long time, every day we get our energy from our children around, our students around. When the last year, I would like to tell you, around 8 months, the whole colleges were closed. We were almost jailed. It was almost disheartening to see that nobody is around us. The children are not around us. When the children are around in the college and around us, it makes us so great energetic that we can act anything on it. The whole responses that I've got, it's a wonderful response. So starting from Diksha, she said we should expand. Shivana said we should be so responsible. Surgesh said, okay, it's a time to be active now. And Kajal said, hey, let us go ahead to do something. And Ayaniza, when she began, said, let us consider it as an opportunity. And Arjun said, rest is not rest. And looking at all their responses, what I would like to comment on is the discussion that we should have whenever there is a crisis of this kind is not what we lost. It is to be what we achieved. See, just look at the lockdown and count the achievements that we have done. If we are getting that we have not done achievements, immediately switch on to a mode that I want to achieve something out of this. So the country, a population, a group of people, or any kind of person who takes a decision that I want to achieve in any kind of conditions, that would be a great advantage. Lockdown, as I see, is not a barrier. Lockdown is a great opportunity. Of course, it's necessary to have a kind of protection to the people who are vulnerable. That's again repeating, vulnerable people have to be protected. It's our responsibility. but it is a great opportunity which is not found when we are actually involved in everything. So when you are locked down, you have so much time, space, energy, and possibilities in you. As Salian Diksha was rightly saying, why can't we have startups? Startups needn't be have to be having 1,000 crore investment. It can be 50 rupees also, but it can be a startup where small startups, hundreds of them together. The idea of Gandhi, the small elements, small working elements or units in each village, in each house is going to make a big economy, not the big companies working for the country. So the young people, as I was giving an example, how much you added to your family is important than how much you gain from your family. How much you added to your village is important than how much you got from your village. So the mode of thought that we should be having is contribute, create, go out, extend, expand, learn, highlight ourselves, move ourselves into higher levels of possibilities. So that should be the mode. And any lockdown, it could be the last lockdown which we passed out, if at all another lockdown comes in, if our youth can be guided properly and a proper environment has to be created by me, by you, and probably by the governance and the whole infrastructure around, no lockdown can stop us. And definitely, I'm so optimistic that young people of India, as all of them are mentioning, they have done so many things during lockdown. Nobody asked them to do it. Rather, nobody guided. There was no systematic interaction and a kind of guidance among them. Had we had those kind of systematized efforts in the whole country, we would have had. I was giving an example to many when I was having a discussion. If government had allowed me to get 50 children during or 100 children during my lockdown with me, I would have managed 50 villages around me with respect to their education, their awareness, their possibilities of learning. A lot of things I would have taken care of. But unfortunately, we did not have a kind of policy and a system to manage lockdown well. And I believe this discussion and further discussions will lead to two conclusions. One is all of us as individuals should be always positive, look for achievements and possibilities of lockdown. The second thing is, if at all a lockdown comes in, let us have a synchronized, rational, thought out process of handling it. And it should be completely based on facts and scientific approach. And let us take the great force of our country into confidence. That is young people of this country. And definitely they can do wonders if we guide them and prepare a proper chart of plan to address lockdown, not locking them down at home. So I believe this is going to be a great possibility. And I congratulate all the young people who are on the board. I enjoyed your company. Be active. See that you propagate best energy to your colleagues and your friends and families. And I thank Lal Goyal sir for creating another wonderful opportunity for me and also all the young friends on the board and whoever is watching the show. Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kurian. As usual, you are so inspirational and motivational. I'm sure today's young youth got so much inspiration and motivation from you. Definitely, they would like to start because as they mentioned that they can do many more things, but today's guidance which you have given, I'm sure the students are very lucky to have a principal and a teacher like you. And that's why we believe that as Plato has mentioned, we should have a philosopher king as our leader. If we will have such type of leaders in our political scenario, we can do wonders. And one advice from my side in the end is that just see a glass of half fill. Some says half fill, some says half empty. But I say there is a space. You have to fill that. Youth have that capacity to fill that. Lockdown is there, no problem. You can come out and see to it that, like our chief guest has mentioned, take this as an opportunity, do many more things so that tomorrow, even the lockdown or corona will feel fear to come to India because of the youth. Thank you very much. Today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon se, Malladu TV, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. And as you all know that today there's the election day, all the 4 states and 1 union territory. So tomorrow we are going to start a new series from tomorrow. Every week we are going to analyze about the state, that how the state is going to go forward. So tomorrow media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. The first state which we are going to take is Kerala, the way forward. And irrespective of whichever party is going to come in the rule, but what should the Kerala government, the new government should do so that the Kerala can come in the forefront in the, not only in the country, but in the world. And our panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, one-man expert commission on labor, Government of India. Mr. R. Ramchandran Nair, IAS, founder, vice chancellor, Sri Shankaracharya University, Kaladi, and former chief secretary, Government of Kerala. And Mr. Sajeev Purushothaman, founder, Indo-Arab Business Leaders Forum, Dubai. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, all my youth leaders, vibrant youth leaders, as well as thank you very much our chief guest, Dr. Kurian, for giving such a thought-provoking, enriching, enlightening, inspirational and motivational thoughts of yours. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers. I'm sure all the viewers are also enlightened as usual today. Thank you very much. Thank you all.